test days. The days that separate the boys from the men. Because, well, that's when you get to learn about who you are, what matters, and what you have got deep inside. Now, test days is one of my favorite parts of 126 to Greatness. And the honest truth is, there are two different variations for test days within the program that I've got. There are ones where life just fucking tests you. And it's a big component of why 126 to Greatness is structured the way it is. Because life will fucking test you. There are going to be more than a few days where you're going to discover what this means to you. How important is this to you? How well is that mental fortitude working? Are you building in it? Are you improving it? Is it getting better? Are you discovering who you are? And the true test days come, and like the innately built ones come when life just throws shit at you. And so I had one of my guys message me this morning, and he was like, not gonna lie, the workout kicked the shit out of me. I didn't want to do it. Didn't want a bar of it. But I got it done. And I was like, how do you feel? He was like, I feel fucking proud. Like, I feel excited and pumped up. And I was like, these are the days. These are your test days. And these are the days that matter. These are the days that separate, as I said, the boys from the men. Because it's all well and good to do shit when you feel like it. It's all well and good when you feel amazing and life is on top of the world. You know, that's easy. Anybody can do pretty much anything when they feel great. It's when you feel like shit. When you're run down or the world's against you, you've had a bad day, or, you know, the kids didn't sleep last night, or whatever it might be that has caused you to wake up feeling like crap. And you go, you know what? I kept my word. I'm a man of my word, and I'm doing what I said I would do. On those days, you build massive, and I do mean massive, fucking credibility with yourself. You have just put massive credit in the bank to be like, I am a man of my word. I'm a man who gets shit done. That my feelings, my emotions, what's going on in life doesn't fucking matter. What matters is my word. That I am doing what I said needs to be done. They are important days. And it's why 126 to Greatness, or Chasing Greatness Daily, or the Greatness Club, all of them are built around doing it every single day. With no exceptions, with no days off. Just fucking marching forward. Because consistency above everything else is what separates you. That's where you get the most bang for your buck. That's where you get that discipline, that focus, that drive, all those things that we are aiming to build through this. Yeah, we're aiming to transform our physique. We're aiming to get incredible results on that front. But we are also aiming to be the best version of ourselves. Aiming to show up as the most incredible version. To transform the mental toughness. That's what that's about. That's the thing that we are also trying to build through this process. And it's why it's every single day. It's why it's monotonous and boring, and yet consistently pushing the limits, because that's where the greatness comes from. As I've discussed many times before, it's really simple to do something for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You keep showing up well beyond that time. You consistently show up without exception. You don't miss a fucking beat. You just keep going and keep going and keep going. When you do this, now things are different. Now you're achieving at a different fucking level. Now you're showing up as a different man. And that's why it's so important, and why I keep reiterating that we must find consistency and build momentum and stack it on top of each other. Because while you're motivated, it's easy. But showing up regardless of your feelings and emotions, showing up and utilizing discipline to create that, now that's difficult. Now that's a separator. Now that makes a fucking difference. And that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're striving for. To be the greatest version of yourself. So that's why test days are really, really important. And it doesn't matter how hard you try. Life will throw test days at you. In all areas of life, but particularly when you're doing something like Chasing Greatness Daily. It's gonna throw curveballs at you. It's gonna throw days that are gonna test your resolve and your commitment to following through on the work. And it's on those days you discover who you truly are. It's on the days when it is hard, when you don't feel like it, when your back's against the wall. It's on those days that you will really determine your character. You'll determine who you are on a big, fundamental level. It's also why I like the weighted walks, because if you do the weighted walks, especially in silence, you will quickly discover your character, because there are going to be days and times when it sucks nuts. Especially if you get that weighting right. Usually about that, I don't know, 35, 40 minute mark, sometimes earlier if you get it wrong and it's too heavy, you will be tested. And you will discover how much you have in the tank to actually get this shit done. That's what you want. That's the point of it. We're testing character. We're building character. We're building fortitude. We're pushing you forward to be the greatest version of yourself. The whole point is to get tested. And then on the flip side of that is the other test days. So in 126 to Greatness, when you progress past Chasing Greatness Daily, you got to start there, and then you progress into it by invitation. You get invited up into 126 to Greatness. You then get to partake in designated test days. So there are planned test days that you must build towards. And I call them mini misogis. So a misogi is where you undertake a challenge that is so difficult, that is so full on, that is so challenging, that there is at least, if not more than a 50% chance that you will fail. And in those moments, even if you do fail, you find how far you can push yourself. You find the next levels. You find out what you are truly, truly capable of. And that's the point of those tests. So a misogi is probably done once, maybe twice a year, because it's such a large undertaking. As I said, that there's a greater than 50% chance that you will fail. I like mini misogis. So in 126 to Greatness, we do mini misogis. And that's once a month. And it's not that massive undertaking, but it is a specific test day workout designed to test you, designed to test your character, designed to test who you truly are and what you're capable of, and to see where you're at physically, mentally, and emotionally. See where your discipline is at. And I've put them in there because I think it's really important that we continue to test ourselves. Because it's one thing to push on commitment, and that needs to be done. As I said, like I'm in the 300 plus range now. I'm chasing that full year of doing greatness, of chasing greatness daily. I'm in that full year, chasing that point right now. But commitment is one that, like when we discussed willpower, there are different degrees of willpower and how it's tested for you. So we need to not only test long-term commitment, this long-term where there are micro decisions that keep showing up to test how serious you are about this, but also in intense, momentarily things. We must test in those small moments about how serious you are about getting this shit done. And that's what matters as well. That once a month, you're going to undertake these test workouts to see what you've got in the tank, how far you can take it, how far you can push yourself, and see what happens. No, and one of them is that we want to get 50% of our body weight and go for a 45-minute walk and see how far you can go. Now, this is a test day in two ways, because one, we get to come back at a later date and test against that first one. But two, it just straight up comes down to what you've got inside, what you've got in here, what you've got, built into your character, not just fitness, but where you're at, because there is no end point. There is no hey, you need to achieve, X number of kilometers or whatever it might be. And it's designed specifically that way because though it is impressive and though it is imperative to set standards and see how far you can rise, can you rise to the standard that has been set? I also believe that there is a skill in just being able to do work, to just fucking grind, to just push yourself to your limits without knowing what the end outcome should be. That it's just about getting in and giving everything and then running out and finding another fucking gear and giving everything. I think that is a different level of commitment. I think that's a different level of fortitude. I think that's a different level of showing up and delivering. That it's the ability to just work, which is why I designed it that way, because it's really easy to go, this is heavy and hard, and just kind of slowly trudge. It takes a certain level of commitment to fucking dig in and be like, you know what? I'm going to give it my all. I am not only going to suffer through this, but I am going to just absolutely push and shatter myself and just see who I can be, see what I can give, see how hard I can fucking work. That's a different level. That's a different mindset. That's a man who's going to go out and achieve shit. And it's the separator, and you can see it in the day-to-day walks as well, because some people will just go, well, this is the goal, therefore tick, job done. But the separator is when you can go, I'm still going to give it my all. I see it in the gym as well. Okay, it says 8 reps. Yeah, but I got more in the tank. I can do 10. I could do 12. Cool. Now we know that you've got more. Let's push it. And that's how you get better. So many people will just tick the box. They will just accept that this is what needs to be done. I have done what needs to be done. Boom, good job. Look, you're still going to probably be in the top 5% because the rest of the world is still sitting on the fucking couch doing shit all. But the men who can go, no, it might say 8, but I've got 12 in me. It might say complete the 45-minute walk with this much of my body weight, but I can do more. Men who fucking give it their all, who go all in and just give everything to see how far they can take it for themselves. Those men separate themselves daily. Those men are building the character. Those men, when shit hits the fan, their back's against the wall and everything's on their line, those men are going to show up and be leaders and achieve shit that the other guys couldn't even fathom. That is what we are chasing. There is degrees of this game, and we are playing in the upper echelon of this. We are playing at the highest level, and we are pushing forward on this. And that's what we want to do, and that's how we get better. So, question becomes, do you think you're ready for that? Are you ready to not only step into the 5%, but to step into the 1%, to step into that upper echelon of guys, to separate yourself from average and see who you can truly be? Are you ready to be that guy? Because I think you are. I think you've got what it takes, but you just got to make a decision. You've just got to make the decision to go all in and do what is required. So if you're ready to test yourself, if you're ready to enter the arena, then shoot me a message. Let's get you into Chasing Greatness Daily. Let's start the process and let's see who you can become on the other side. Now, if you're not quite there yet, as always, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if you enjoyed it, if you know someone else who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, subscribe. Because it helps me, it helps you, it helps everyone. And it makes sure that you don't miss a single one of these. Because I am here every single day. Like I do Chasing Greatness every single day. I am here sharing from the front line, sharing my experiences, and sharing how you can transform your life. So hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss a single episode of this. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then.